Hello and welcome to another episode of One Fall WrestleCast Live. Tom and I are here with you this week. We've got plenty to discuss. Night of Champions was a thing. Plenty of news surrounding Tiffany Stratton. Can't wait to get Tom's opinion on some of this stuff. And lots of interesting things happened at Night of Champions. And Tom and I were both coming off vacation, so we're a little bit out of the loop, but we'll, we'll figure something out here. So let's get after it.
Welcome to the One Fall WrestleCast.
What's up, dude?
Nothing. Just getting off a crummy day of work, but excited to hang out and talk to you because that's way better than getting my ass handed to me at work, basically, which was what happened today. So all good.
Today your first day back?
No, but it was like the first Monday back, and for whatever reason, it's just like opened it up, stepping on landmines left and right. Anybody call this guy? No, I don't have his phone number. Thomas, why didn't you call him? Because nobody gave me his phone number, and it degraded from there. So it was one of those kind of days, one of those things. But
I'm back to the old grind tomorrow myself.
Well, I wish you better luck than I had. We'll put it that way. Because I've been stepping in it since I got back.
We shall see. We shall see. Done a pretty successful job of being completely disconnected from everything for the last 10 days.
That's really good for you. You need that.
Yeah. It was great. So first time for everything. I'm here for it, So
first time for everything. Exactly what that is.
Yeah, I'm here for it. So yeah. So how was your little trip ski?
Good. So New Orleans is cool. It's a neat place to be. The non-touristy stuff is not it's not really worth doing the non-touristy stuff, in my opinion. The Bourbon Street stuff is cool, but way overpriced. Went up and down Bourbon Street. Man, though, the live music is really what's fucking killer there. Like, you could just walk into a bar and there's just, if you pick them right, like, there's lots of dudes playing like jazz, and I'm not big on like horned, like wind instruments. It's not my thing. I find them a little pitchy and annoying. No, Sirius XM. I find them a little pitchy and annoying. But there's enough dudes just like playing the blues on a Strat, just set up in bars with like a drummer going, and it just, so that's kind of, anytime I got the opportunity to sort of like dictate what we were doing, that's where I was like, we're gonna go to this bar that I saw this guy setting up his, I saw this guy ripping the blues on like 10 minutes ago, and have a drink there, and then we're gonna go find another one of those. And so did a bunch of that, did a lot of pooling, which was nice. It was hot as hell down there. It was actually hotter here.
Yeah, that's what I kept hearing. Every time I climbed in an Uber in Florida, and they were like, "Oh, where are you from?" "Oh, it's hot up there right now." It was like 70 in Florida all week. It was lovely.
Well, that's good and bad depending on what you were there to do.
I mean, we were there for the beach, but like it was perfect. Everything was perfect.
Good, perfect then. Yeah, we spent a lot of time in the pool. Did a lot of Bourbon Street bouncing around. Got to see, got to get up early a couple times and like just roam from like where we were staying, which was like right on Bourbon Street, and like we just zigzagged all the way to the Mississippi River, and then zigzagged all the way back and just went to like weird little pirate coffee shops and bookstores selling 300-year-old books and with cats in them, and what else do we see? A bunch of witchy stores. Got a bunch of cool little like voodoo dolls and shit. The voodoo dolls were all made in China, so it wasn't exactly the witch doctor experience I had hoped for. But got to see pretty much everything from top to bottom. We were there for 4 days, so I feel like 4 days was enough time to experience downtown New Orleans, and still come back to tell the tale. I know a lot of people try to do it in like 24 hours and like just go balls to the wall, but we took it easy in the Big Easy and saw some cool shit. So
well, it's good. I just have one burning question. Did you make time for beignets at Cafe Du Monde?
We did, and Cafe Beignet, which is out in the Legends Park. So that one actually, I feel like the Cafe beignets were a little bit better, in my opinion. They were good. Look, don't get me wrong. You deep fry some beignets and put drizzled powdered sugar and chocolate and all that shit on it, it's going to be delicious. But we had those. I actually ate a lot of local smoked sausage.
Well, what you do in the privacy of your own home is none of our business.
What I do in the privacy of my own vacation.
Yeah, you're entitled to eat all the smoked sausages, Just
with the
just juices dripping down your beard,
It's enough. It's enough out of you. Anyway, but now, we saw a lot of cool stuff, and went to a wedding. It went off without a hitch, so that was good. It was iffy going in. I felt like they had an iffy plan for all of this, because they were like, "All right, we have an hour," and I was like, "And these are not the most punctual people I've ever met in my life." And by not the most punctual people, I mean they were 3 hours late meeting us at Kennywood. So I was a little concerned with the tight time that they were just going to be late and miss it entirely, but they were not. Everybody was on time. Everything went off great. No problems. Did the thing. Everybody was happy. Really a great overall experience. And honestly, really a smooth experience too. Very like getting from the airport to where we were going to back to the airport. No, there was no like issue with it, because there's a lot of like, it could be an issue with the Ubers, there could be plane delays, there could be weather delays. None of that. It was all good.
I had a delay coming back home, 3.5 hour delay to be specific.
That's rough.
Just
hang out in the airport.
They Southwest called us as we were pulling into the airport and said, "Hey, you're delayed quite a few hours, but you should probably arrive at normal time, because we're trying to make some changes." And hey, we're already here. Great. Well, hopefully we can make those changes for you. No changes were made.
Oh boy. Well, got to hang out in, where'd you fly out at? MCO?
Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale. Okay. That's a better airport. I feel like MCO is just a travesty. Every time I'm there, it's like, all right, well, let's maybe get some food. And it's like, well, do you want a $13 garbage sandwich, or do you want to sit down and pay double at Chili's? Like, well, shit, So at least Fort Lauderdale is a little bit of a better, a more consumer friendly. We'll put it that way. Airport.
Yeah, sure. Fucking pissy. So, yeah. So, anywho, glad you enjoyed your trip. We enjoyed ours. Life was good.
Glad you guys are back.
I'm glad to be home, but I am not prepared to be home, if that makes sense. I didn't get burnt, which is...
That's right, because that happens to you. Like a peach.
I've got a little bit of...
little tan, little sun kiss.
Little sun kiss going on. Yeah. We'll take that all day.
Yeah.
So pretty successful week. Pretty successful week.
And we made it back here.
Yeah. We're here. We may not know all the wrestling things, but there's some things that we've got, some things we're going to talk about, and I would like to start with the news that I heard today that Tiffany Stratton and Ludwig Kaiser have called it quits.
That's unfortunate because I'm a fan of both of those people, and I wish them all the success in the world in dating, but just like in a lot of things, maybe everything's not meant to last forever.
Well, if I feel like if he'd have just stayed out of Charlotte's DMs, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Ever since he's been in Charlotte's DMs, he's not even been on TV.
Maybe not.
She feel, this is real simple. Tiffany's just out here. She's just trimming the fat, getting rid of the dead weight. Ludwig's a loser now. He's not even on television. I don't even see him on Main Event. So what's he doing? He's just sitting back there and catering. Just hanging out. You know what I mean?
Carrying her bags into the building.
Right, and then probably going and getting her snacky cakes for 25 cents less a piece than because the men get to pay less for the snacky cakes. So she's just like, hey man, this investment just isn't working for me anymore, brother. So we've got to go ahead and move on with our time. You just continue to sit in catering, and I'm just going to continue to remind the world that it's Tiffy time.
Is he in catering or is he under a mask now? We don't know.
I don't know. I haven't watched it yet. I just was poking around the old Book of Faces, and I saw that. And the dude under the mask looks like Cody Rhodes, but I don't know. I just glanced at it.
Guess we'll figure it out. I've yet to watch, and I know they're in Pittsburgh tonight. They're filming both Raw and SmackDown.
The thing is, you opened that dialogue earlier today, and you were like, Raw's in Pittsburgh tonight, and I was like, yeah, it is. You're like, they're gonna tape SmackDown, and I'm like, oh, well, that explains why the tickets are so fucking much. And then had you opened the dialogue and been like, hey man, I found 2 tickets for like $70. You want to go? I probably would have went.
Well, that was the problem, is that I didn't find 2 tickets for $70. I found 2 tickets for $170, and that was like the only tickets that were available at the lowest price, just somewhere close enough to see the ring. We could have sat like all the way in the rafters for $80.
Remember when those tickets used to be $40?
Yeah, I do. Hell, even if they were $50 to watch both Raw and SmackDown, that might have been worth it too. But no, them shits were $80, and then just getting down enough to somewhere you could see, like, not behind the Tron, because like that whole section is still available. But it says when you click on it, it's like, this seat is obstructed. This seat is obstructed. This seat is obstructed. It's like, no shit. No shit. It's because like they have where like the entrance and the ramp and stuff are, and it's like, no. Yeah, it's a no. Although, I don't know. So with the new setup, I don't know how high the Tron comes, and I don't know how much it blocks. Those might be amazing seats now.
Yeah, because they are all about that new 360 view, and less is more. And I think with the advent of LED boards, you can really just get your message across with a whole lot less. It's almost like it's a scaled up house show setup. If you've been to a house show in recent years, they just have the one little LED screen that they put by the entrance ramp with like the old school the beams, the steel beams that they set up, the trusses. And that's like their house show setup these days. But it's just scaled up a little bit.
And I think what they do too, which is really cool, is on the LED board they can now put stuff behind the performer to where there's like wings, or like with Penta there's like that's the like that thing that rotates behind him, or he's like, oh, and like, so they get to do some cool stuff with that, where everybody's either got demon wings or stuff, whatever else, and
but that thing that twirls behind Penta's a spark flyer machine thingy.
Oh yeah,
it's like a spark pinwheel.
Yeah, it is.
You can buy at the tent in Walmart's parking lot.
I've also yes, and I need to do that. By the way, I have no fireworks, and I got kids coming over to set off fireworks, and they can't set off fireworks if I don't have any. But I've noticed too that with that LED board behind them, I feel like when it was like the big Tron with it was more pixelated and stuff, it would like kind of mess up the feed a lot of times too. Where like you'd look at it and everything would get checkered all of a sudden. And with the LED board, that doesn't seem to happen. It seems to have a better like board to through camera consistency.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, something that wrestling has needed now for probably 20 years.
Well, that's probably why our $40 tickets are now $75.
And it's almost sold out too, which was the other part, which was the other like.
Well, it's been a while since they've been in Pittsburgh. I mean,
yeah,
it doesn't surprise me in the least. And if you remember correctly, like 2 weeks ago, we were talking about how Pittsburgh's kind of a little bit of a wrestling hotbed, and it doesn't surprise me at all that the show was almost sold out. Probably sold out by showtime.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Enough people would have walked up and just said, "What you got left?" Yeah.
So there's that. So more Tiffany Stratton news. Now this isn't the first time that this has been brought up, but it's been put back into focus. Tiffany recently had a interaction with a fan. I'm assuming it was last week, maybe it was today. I just saw the video today. And she was walking back down the entrance ramp towards the locker room, and you can hear this male voice in the background that says, "Make sure you keep that thing warm for Naomi. You're a fake champion," or some shit, whatever. And Tiffany Stratton fires back, "Keeping it warm? I'm not keeping anything warm. I'm the real champion, boy." And then the camera pans over, and it's a young 20-something black man. And the world is calling foul again on Tiffany Stratton being racist.
I don't know if you could say that. I don't know if you could say that's. I mean, I'm all for wrestler to fan banter, but I feel like you gotta leave the boy or whatever. You gotta leave that way out of it. And I don't know that is necessarily and is as egregious, because maybe she just off the top of her head didn't know what to say, and calling a grown man a boy was something to her like a PG level insult. But if you think a little harder about it for another second or two, you go, ooh, maybe not. Maybe go with dude or buddy
or bruh.
Something a little less something a little less touchy. We'll put it that way. Something a little less. If you understand a little bit of history, I don't know that. I feel like it's hard to be like somebody who travels so much and meets so many people. It's hard to have like real hard like racist viewpoints. You know what I mean? If you're somebody that interacts with a lot of people, like it's hard to have like I don't know that that's necessarily going to.
Well, I mean, if you remember correctly, a couple of months ago, she was under fire for her racist activity, so to speak, when it came to. I want to say it was Jade Cargill and some of the things that were caught on a hot mic of things that she had said in the ring. And, so this will fizzle out again. But what happens if it comes back around,
I mean, maybe like 3 strikes and you're out. That might be it, because I don't remember exactly what it was with Jade. Tiffany seems kind of young and maybe like just loose of the cannon of the mouth. I don't exactly remember what she said to Jade specifically.
I don't either, but I do remember like that being a whole thing.
I remember there being controversy, but I don't know that it was necessarily like, I mean, it maybe could have been construed as related, but it may have just been more of like, you're a noob and like I'm not, and you need to pay your dues of something to that effect. And maybe the way it came off, I feel like that was more the main point of it, but it was maybe a little more egregious than that, or maybe it could have been construed as such. So similar to how this could be construed, calling a young black man boy, certainly it's not something you want to be doing on television. But it also could just be a whole not thinking moment. And that just being part of how her lexicon would work, she may have called a young white man boy at the same time and just been like, but maybe she didn't know. Maybe she didn't even see who said it. We don't know. But yeah, maybe I think
you're
maybe
a Nazi sympathizer. Is that what you're telling me?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
I mean, that's kind of what I'm hearing here.
What I'm trying to say.
You know what I mean?
Maybe
that's why she broke up with Ludwig, because he wasn't like a, he wasn't a practicing Nazi.
He wasn't
an
actual
didn't really know
Nazi.
what to do. She was like, "Hey man, I thought like we had this thing going here, and like we were gonna just be doing all them things, you know what I'm saying, to the boys, you do
that march to the ring with your hands behind your back. I just assumed,
We'll be talking about fucking John Heidenreich.
So
that popped up on my news feed a couple of days ago about the pitch that the writer had at the time about making Heidenreich a Nazi. I mean, Heidenreich was a Nazi. If you hear any stories about that guy, he had the Nazi swastika on his ankle, tattooed on his ankle. What an interesting time to be a wrestling fan.
Do you remember the guy wasn't even Muslim? He was like Italian or something. But do you remember the guy that was a terrorist?
Yeah. During the like post 9/11 thing, it became a real big problem.
I feel like it was a couple years later. It was like 2003 or 2004, but it was still too soon. There was still we were still very much having a war in Afghanistan and in Iraq, and it was like, this is not. And it was like, this is not okay for TV. It was on TV one time, and it was like, well, that's too much, and they fired that guy. And he's like, I'm Italian. I'm not even Middle Eastern. I'm Italian. But it is what it is, I suppose. I hope that that's not the case. I like Tiffany Stratton, and I think maybe that's why I'm being a little bit over dramatic of like, well, is it really, or are we just being harsh on? But there's no place for that in wrestling or anywhere else. So I would hope that is not the case. And if it is the case, I would hope that she has some sort of a education about why this is not okay, and certainly some repercussions if that is the case.
What about
as well.
Concussions?
Huh?
What'd you say about concussions?
Maybe Naomi will hit her in the head with that briefcase.
What did he do?
Hey, so interesting. Pittsburgh was in the news the wrestling news this week. I don't know if you saw this, but I guess apparently UPMC has a anti-transsexual policy.
Yeah, they're talking about going into denying gender affirming care for trans youths or trans individuals or whatever I don't know exactly what the plan of it all was, but
so we're talking about the children.
19 and under, that's what it is. So anybody 19 and under, they're denying gender affirming care as part of whatever it is, which I am not a fan of, because most of that gender affirming care is like not actually trans related. It's like, oh well, this person has like this thing, or like boys with like weird boobies, like that's most of it, like getting that removed and what have you. So there's a lot of consequences, and if you're painting with a broad brush in that sense, it can be very damaging to a lot of kids who are going through it at the time. So certainly not something you want to paint with as broad of a brush. So yes, there is a There was a protest earlier today, and one CM Punk was there.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting.
I appreciate his more wanting to be involved in stuff like this. He was at just some other protests lately, despite his. You'll notice my Blood Money Punk, despite his sort of giving in to going to Saudi Arabia, which
That motherfucker got paid.
I'm sure he did. Yeah, it's funny how that blood money looks a little different when it's in your bank account, huh?
I'm sure.
When them extra zeros click up in your bank account, I know what it feels like when I get a tax return. And it must, when you get that blood money payout, it must feel. Ooh. April, call my Chicago Porsche dealer. Tell them Daddy's back.
April, I know that I spoke out against this for many, many moons, but I would love to buy Larry a gold grill for his fucked up little face.
Poor Larry. Larry the dog.
April! The Saudi prince said that he would buy Larry a little gold grill for his fucked up little face if I wrestled John Cena.
Mr. John Cena.
I didn't have the heart to tell him that his name was John and not Juan. Because April, it takes Juan to know Juan. And John doesn't know Juan.
What the fuck?
But the Saudi prince certainly knows that Larry has a fucked up little face.
He sure does. Larry certainly does have a fucked up little face. Good Lord. You know what? We've not seen Larry the dog on WWE television.
That's because he's got a fucking NDA with AEW because he fucking bit a guy.
He did bite a guy. He bit Kenny Omega is who he bit. Not just a guy.
Yeah, he bit the guy.
He bit the guy.
Allegedly.
We'll
never know what happened with Brawl Out.
You know what? I don't think I want to know because the picture of what happened in my head is so much better
than what actually happened.
Yeah, than whatever actually happened.
This is such a big fucking deal. Like, this was such a big fucking deal for like so long, and now everybody signed NDAs and nobody's talking, and it's just like, yeah, okay, whatever. My version's way better.
Yeah, way better in my head.
With the rickety door.
Kenny Omega's running around, bleeding, being bit by Larry the dog, who's hanging on
just
Kenny
running
Omega. Beating CM Punk and Ace Steel are whooping the shit out of the Bucks in a corner, just laying
Super
it in.
Kick Party!
Like, whatever actually happened is so much less interesting than the picture.
I never hit anybody. I just choked a guy once. Just a little.
I choked him a little bit. So that's what he said. And he did this with his fingers when he said it. I just choked a guy a little bit.
Oh, shit. Man, I was really excited for, like, Punk and John Cena. And, like, I felt like the promos felt like, forced.
Yeah.
What was up with like the John Cena pipe bomb? Like, that was good. Don't get me wrong. And I didn't see the straight edge, the what was it? The Doctor of Punkonomics. I didn't.
Yeah,
see
the Doctor of Punkonomics. That was so I watched that sort of after the fact. It felt forced to me. So disclaimer though, because I saw a lot of people liked it. Disclaimer, like, I was not a John Cena fan when he was the Doctor of Thugonomics. I thought that was goofy.
Juan Cena?
Yeah, Mr. John Cena.
John Cena.
I loved anything that he did. Oh,
Santino Marella.
Yeah, anything Santino Marella did, I thought was gold. He apparently because he was just on Chris Van Vliet. Anything that dealing with Santina Marella, he was apparently not a fan. He didn't like doing it.
Oh, some of his best work.
It was some of his best work. But I loved.
I mean, he got eliminated from the Royal Rumble in like 2 seconds. The Women's Royal Rumble.
Yeah, that was everything he did. I feel like everything he did was good. When he called Batista Baptista, it was all. Oh, look at me! I'm a Baptista. Like, I died. He used to kill me. Like, I would just be there, like howl. I would be in my dorm room just howling, laughing. And people would be like, what the fuck is he laughing at? I'm just like laughing my ass off at Santino Marella, just like doing stupid shit.
Hey, so I just got a text message. It says, I opened the live stream to Tom saying, and him choking a guy. Tom, whatever you do in your own home, pal. ...
Just choked the guy a little bit.
Cozy, I hit the joke early today. If you're just joining us, you definitely missed it. But Tom gave me a little pop up, and I had to swing.
I stepped in it early, is what Walt's trying to say.
Yeah, certainly did. So, yeah, so I did. I felt like a lot of that was really forced, and
Okay, I'm glad you and I are on the same page with this because we could argue about this for like the next hour.
Yeah, for sure. But which doesn't make for great content. But at the same point in time, like when we feel a certain way, we feel a certain way. I was really excited for this interaction, and it just didn't pan out the way that I wanted.
No, I thought the John Cena pipe bomb went off a lot better than the CM Punk Doctor of Punkonomics. I just don't think. I mean, it was fine.
Fine.
It was right, but it was like one of those things, and maybe that was the point. Was that like that John Cena shit was cringy then, so Punk had to go that deep to get it just as cringy, but I don't know that. I don't know that works for me, brother. You know what I mean? So I think that's really where I was on that. As unfortunate as it feels to say that out loud, I don't know that I was there on that, but I thought the match itself was okay, was pretty good considering all things considered. I know we'll get there, but yeah. Anyway, moving on. What do you want to talk about next,
buddy?
We got to talk about the other thing that happened on Friday. Zelina Vega dropping her title.
Yeah,
Julia.
Yeah, thank God that fucking title reign's over.
That was a train wreck from the get-go, from out the gate. First of all, also on Friday, I don't know if you noticed this, but like Zelina has, she comes out in her like anime inspired like gear all the time. She'll like kind of hold her costume together on the way to the ring as she just sort of walked to the ring. I'm sure she was like not particularly excited to be dropping the title she'd only had for like a month and a half or however long it was, but
too fucking long.
Yeah, sure felt like she got a lot of TV time where she made a lot of stupid. I don't know. I mean, she had a lot of TV time that didn't seem to work out. I don't know if it was like the nervousness of holding a championship for the first time, or if like what the deal was. But it was basically bad from the get-go. She also managed to somehow deliver the worst 619 in the history of that move.
Well, I mean, that shouldn't surprise you either.
No, but I mean, she's done it okay before.
I mean, listen, I'm the guy, right, that like I was pulling for Zelina Vega to get a shot. Okay, like when she got released the first time, I went on a 10-minute rant in the fucking truck. And if you want to see that, it's in the archives here on One Fall WrestleCast. But like they've not invested in her in the right way, right? I'm hopeful that after this is all said and done, and she got to have her little in-ring run, and she had a championship, and she won it in New York in front of her home crowd, and got to do all the things, and got to be a champion, and parade herself out there, and
As an underdog baby face, like
that's
she's
it.
fucking Sami Zayn.
I'm fucking happy for her. I genuinely am. But that title reign was extremely misplaced. They did a great job telling the story from Chelsea Green to Zelina Vega and how they handled that.
But Chelsea made that work, not Zelina.
Yes, we cut the legs off of a very, very strong chance to make that United States Women's Championship mean something with Chelsea Green holding it. And then it just was like, oh, Zelina won. Oh, that's good for her. Hopefully she'll do something with it. And then it was just like
Botch after botch.
It wasn't great, man. So I'm hopeful that she'll be like, okay, I did it. I'm done. Can I just get paired up with Andrade? Because if I can just get paired up with Andrade, we can just rehash that NXT shit. I think that's going to be best for business for both of them, and they're both main event. They both have a ticket to the main event.
Heel manager is what she. And look, if she needs to take a bump here and there because she's a heel manager, she can clearly do that, and it's not but heel manager is where she now needs to be. That's you're like, I agree with you wholeheartedly. She's got her underdog, mid-card title run where she got to come out in her anime cosplays and do, I'm sure, following her on social media and having watched her Twitch stream a couple times, etc., knowing what she likes, knowing what she's like.
You subscribed to her OnlyFans while she was terminated, didn't you?
No, I did not.
You freaky deaky.
No, I did not. I've actually never paid for a subscribe.
Spoken like somebody that's definitely paid for OnlyFans.
No, I've not. I did pay for Tinder one time.
Watching you. That you have to pay for Tinder?
If you don't want to just continue to scroll the same 100 dead profiles, yes. Or fake profiles. Yes, you do.
Well, that doesn't really seem like that's in good faith.
It's not. It's in poor faith. But look, whatever. It's a business. Whatever works, right? It's like I have to pay for wrestling tickets if I want to see wrestling.
So we didn't fucking pay for wrestling tickets tonight.
No, we did not.
Which is a goddamn travesty, if you ask me.
Look, man, I don't want to pay a fucking mortgage payment.
No, dude, I'm with you. Listen, was not about to spend $75 to sit behind the Titantron.
Oh no, that was before fees too. These were on Ticketmaster. That was $75 front of the. When we're talking, there would have been taxes and it would have been another. If we'd have bought two $75 tickets, there'd have been $75 worth of fees and taxes on top of that, easily. That's the thing. When you buy two tickets, just figure out whatever the price of the third ticket is, because that's what you're fucking paying for the tickets. You're paying for three. It's like, when you tell when they used to tell pregnant women that you're eating for two now, it's you're fucking buying tickets for three. It's ridiculous.
Hey, did you see the 3-man band reunion this past weekend?
I did, and I loved it.
It was awesome.
I loved it.
It was awesome.
Congrats to Jinder Mahal. What's his name? It's Raj, I think is actually his real name. What he goes by?
Yeah.
Raj. And congrats to him for getting married. His wedding looked awesome. I always like this, the real Indian weddings where they put the turbans on and they get the swords and the daggers and shit out. That shit is awesome. That is cool as hell. And there are certain things that certain cultures do 100 million times better, and the fucking swords, the daggers, and that's so much cooler than
getting fucking absolutely annihilated with fucking 100 of your best friends.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you can do that with swords and daggers.
I don't think that's not safe.
I mean, maybe you put the swords and daggers down before you get annihilated.
No. That's just that's a.
My next wedding, there might be swords and daggers.
Your next wedding,
in addition to bourbon.
I like bourbon.
I know, me too.
Bourbon's great.
I also like swords and daggers. See how we can just put it. How do we put it all together?
Okay, I mean, I'm picking up what you're putting down.
I mean, you're coming, right?
I mean, I didn't know that this was a thing.
Not that there's a date or anything yet. There's not.
Oh.
Or that's not set up yet. I'm just saying.
Oh.
I'm amassing ideas, and I feel like Swords and Daggers might be a good idea because I'm not married anymore. So like,
as long as there's fire too, we have to have fire.
Well, all right. I mean, twist my arm, I guess. Fire there will be.
Fire and daggers and swords and.
What if the swords are on fire?
I'm here for it. Sign me up.
Yeah, sorry. Let's fucking go.
I'm here for it.
Swords on fire.
Fuck it. I'll drink a bottle. I'll drink a bottle of bourbon and play with a flaming sword.
We might die at this, huh?
Yeah, fuck it. Let's go. Yeah. Go big or go home.
Exactly. Be my last one for sure. For sure, be my last one.
Fuck it. Leave no doubt. Leave no doubt.
I might not survive. Fire and a sword. Those would be some kick-ass pictures.
Yeah.
Why are there mostly pictures in this album of you and Walt sword fighting with flaming swords?
Because it's fucking metal as fuck.
Fucking awesome. That's why. This is the most fun I ever had at a wedding. Where's your wife? She was around. Flaming swords. But yeah, congrats to Jinder Mahal, formerly known as Jinder Mahal. Drew McIntyre was there, as was what's his name?
Heath Slater.
Heath Slater. Heath was there.
I got kids.
I love that gimmick too. I got kids, and then just getting killed by legends. I love
his little trailer in West Virginia with his kids running around.
I love that. I loved that gimmick, and it got exactly the correct amount of TV time that it was supposed to get. It didn't need another minute more or a minute less. It got the perfect amount.
I'm just sad he got fired.
I mean, he did, but
he was a pandemic. He was a pandemic casualty.
He was a pandemic casualty. He could have he was a great, him and Santino Marella. I don't know that they ever interacted really, but they were great individually, comedically. Tell you something, Mr. John Cena.
So there's been a question floating around the old internet wrestling community that got answered this week. But before I ask you this question,
oh boy,
I'm gonna let you elaborate on your thoughts. There seems to be a belief that Kairi Sane might be a little unsafe. Because she's now had 2 high-profile injuries in like 6 weeks' time.
Oh,
first obviously was Zoe Starks, and then the second was Liv Morgan.
So, I mean, I did watch both of those happen live. I don't know that either of those were Kairi's fault, particularly Liv Morgan's. It was not a. That just looked like Liv caught herself with her arms like she was supposed to, and her shoulder gave out. It didn't look like there was anything egregious going on with that. The Zoe Stark one, Kairi may have been out of position. That might be that.
I don't think Kairi was out of position. I think that fucking Zoe went for that baseball slide drop kick and just underestimated how much she needed to get that leg out from underneath of herself.
I didn't watch that back as much because it didn't look like, because it didn't look egregious. It just looked like she hit and it twisted and just like she went down in a heap, and it just didn't that didn't seem. So I mean, just from watching them both live, I don't think that either of them were Kairi's fault. I think she was more of a victim of circumstance, that she just happened to be the one there at that time. But I don't think that either of because neither of them were like weirdly like, okay, Zelina Vega, when she kicked Chelsea Green in the face and broke her nose on that terrible 619, clearly Zelina Vega's fault. 100% could not, like, you couldn't take it any other way. These other two, they just seemed to me to look more like unfortunate accidents that just happened to happen while Kairi Sane was in the ring with them, because it didn't seem to be like even anything out of the ordinary. Like, they weren't even risky moves. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. But it's been answered that there's no heat on Kairi Sane backstage, and that they were both just looked at as a freak accident and just an awkward landing.
I mean, yeah, I don't think that there's any way to see it any other way with those. I mean, it's unfortunate, but knees and shoulders are terrible designs. They really are. And like, if you don't twist or hurt one, I mean, really just good for you. You're just, how's it feel to be God's favorite? But I feel like literally every human I know either has a bad shoulder or a bad knee. And you just pick one. And you have one. And some people have both. Some people have both shoulders are garbage and both knees are garbage. So, it's not it just is what it is.
So also, while we're on the subject of Liv Morgan, I'd like to talk about, her alleged stalker and his charges being upgraded to a federal case. Did you see this?
Yes, he's going to prison.
So this is here off of Ringside News. I've just got it brought up just so that we can. So Sean Chan is far more serious. It's far more serious than it first appeared. And now a retired detective is breaking down exactly how a Florida burglary case turned into a full-blown federal stalking indictment. During an episode of Going Ringside, host Scott Johnson asked retired detective Tom Hackney to explain how Chan's charges were upgraded after his disturbing attempt to break into Morgan's Florida home. Johnson pointed out that Chan's initial charge sounded relatively minor. I want to talk to you about the upgrading of the charges here. So I'm looking at the original complaint affidavit out of Pasco County, and it says that it was burglary in an unoccupied dwelling, unarmed, which to me doesn't sound like that big of a deal.
No.
Then the feds get involved. I'm looking at the indictment from the grand jury. It's upgraded to interstate stalking. Can you talk to me about the dynamics of how this worked its way from looks like a slap on the wrist type crime at the local level to a much more serious at the federal level? Hackney says, yeah, so the burglary portion of it is, so that's a serious state crime. Mm-hmm. That's a felony and can wind him up in state prison. Mm-hmm. So if he would have gone to jail, that's a felony. So that's more than a year. And the fact that it's unarmed and it's unoccupied are different variations of that here in the state of Florida. Mm-hmm. Hackney went on to explain how the FBI stepped in using the federal stalking laws. But when you bring in the FBI component from the federal standpoint, they have different charges that they can use. And here's the one that they chose because he did. He came from another country, basically traveled over at least all of the other states to get to Florida in the air, but that's part of the interstate travel that's mentioned in there for the stalking. Mm-hmm. And the fear component. Stalking has a major, both federal and state, a major component of fear that the person is placed in fear. Mm-hmm. And this certainly rings all those bells because it's frightening to read. And when you think about her and what she had to learn, and all this is going on while she's not home, and this guy is sitting on her front porch, that's fear. Mm-hmm. That's fear with a capital F right there.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure she's got ring cams and cameras around the perimeter and everything else, because at this point, at that level of like sort of fandom, stardom, you have to, like, you can't, everybody has to have it, right? That's just that's the world we live in today. And thankfully, we live in a world now where, people like because this used to be fucking terrifying. I am sure. You're talking about like, starlets from like the 50s, 60s, 70s, before any like cameras were anywhere or anything like that. This shit had to be fucking horrifying. Think about all the terrible Harvey Weinstein stories that came out, and just how he manipulated like stars and women and all that stuff just to be, you want to be big in movies, baby. Like shit like that. Like that's fucking horrifying. And like, so that's why all these laws exist, because there's a pattern of like, okay, woman becomes famous. Famous woman is stalked and murdered by horrific person from out of town. wherever said out of town is, obsessed fan. And by all accounts, that is, what happened. And once they dug into it a little bit, because he was arrested, sitting on a porch, right? That's where they found him. That's where they got him. Which in and of itself, them just pulling up, woo, and he's sitting there. Holy fuck! I'm just gonna wait till she gets home. Like, that's crazy person mentality.
Yeah,
because you're not supposed to fucking be there. Like, any normal person knows you're not supposed to fucking be there. But no, not only was he there, he like broke in, looked around. God knows what he did while he was in there.
I'm sure he visited the panty drawer. I mean,
yeah, God, like I said, God knows what he did while he was in there. They didn't release that information to the public, and the cops.
I'm gonna hurt if I just take a look, right?
And then the cops find him just
nobody's around. If I touch him, it'll be okay.
Yeah, just find him on the front porch, waiting for her to get home. Like, oh, she ain't here.
He flew from fucking Canada.
Yeah. Yeah. So had to cross the entire continental United States.
Had to go through customs.
Yeah, no, horrifying. Because once you find out all the details, and then I'm sure once she got home after he was already arrested and went, Jesus fucking Christ.
He was in my panty drawer.
Exactly. He was in my panty drawer. Once all that comes to, once she sees it, it's like,
who the fuck was that guy?
Yeah. And like, the balls you got to have anyway to like do this to a professional wrestler. Because let's just think of like who her male friends might be. These are not small individuals. Like, could you imagine Braun Strowman showing up to your house? What the fuck are you doing in Liv's house? Like,
yeah.
Just humans that could snap your arms into little pieces if they so desire.
That's one big SOB.
Exactly. And so this is terrifying. Like the cojones you have to have, or the mental incapacity that you have to be under to do something of this caliber is horrifying in and of itself. Like, you have to be a fucked in the head individual to decide to do this to a pro wrestler. And it's like, they do this to like, this happens to like Rhea Ripley in the airports. This happens to like this shit is unacceptable. And like, I hope they lock this guy away and throw away the key. Like, Trump wants to deport people to like fucking Guantanamo Bay and shit. Deport this guy. Send this guy.
Yeah, but he's not even a citizen.
He's not even living here. That's the people he's sending.
Hanging out.
That guy.
He was here on official business.
Fuck him. Send him to El Salvador. He's not even from there. No, but that's not the people. Trump's pulling people off the dish line. Fucking Olive Gardens, sending them to El Salvador. Send this fucking guy to El Salvador. Jesus. At least pick the right dickheads. God damn.
Fucking salty Tom today, huh?
You like how I pulled that in there? You like how I tied that all back?
I'm proud of you. I'm glad you got. I'm glad you got your moment in the sun. Now just all we need is the West Virginia contingency to fucking hit the comments and tell you what a fucking piece of shit you are this week.
Oh, please, I fucking love it.
It's been a while since that's happened.
It has been. Oh, so you're just a piece of shit. Yes.
So
what are we talking about? Let's fucking go. Stupid fucking angry liberal. Yeah, I'm angry all the time.
The views and what you call of Tom do not align with that of the One Fall WrestleCast, LLC, ABD, ESQ.
ESQ. First of all, I'm the only person here with a law degree. Second of all, we don't have an LLC. Third of all, we don't make any fucking money, so there's no reason we'll be hiding behind. Okay, what do we? Oh no, we've gone bankrupt. Actually, that's what we ought to do. We should have put out an LLC, loaded it with debt, declared bankruptcy.
That's how rich people commit crime.
It's not crime; it's business. It's different, totally different.
Yeah, it sounds legit. I mean, who's to say we still can't do it? But then it would be like premeditated.
Yeah, you can't say it out. You can't say it out loud and then do it. I mean, you probably can actually. Like, I mean, Donald Trump's done it like a billion times. So, what a good wink you got going on there.
Can't say it and then try to do it.
Fuck, tried it.
I'm
It's
not
not even hard.
I'm not Googling how to fill out the paperwork.
It's not even hard. You just do it. You take out business credit cards with the business's name, max out those cards to declare bankruptcy. Oh shit, we don't make any money. Like fucking, why doesn't everybody do this? Oh right, because if you're poor like us anyway, you just go to jail for it. Right. You get, and just one of us would too. They'd grab me. It'd be me.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because I have the JD, it'd be me.
Yeah.
Send him away for the rest. Put him in Bernie Madoff's cell.
They'd fucking deport your ass.
Exactly. I'd be in El Salvador.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even take my hat.
Cock meat. You'd be eating cock meat sandwiches.
Morning, noon, and night.
Hey boy, you got a pretty mouth.
Why don't you shave that mustache? I don't like how prickly it is. Be awful. Be terrible. It's exactly what would happen to me.
Oh, crazy.
Let's not pretend like I don't know, because I already know how to do this stuff, but I don't do it because I know what would happen to me. And quite frankly, the taste of penis is not something that I'm interested in. Unfortunately for them.
Absent WWE stars spotted backstage at SmackDown tapings in Pittsburgh.
Who?
Injured WWE talent returns at SmackDown tapings in Pittsburgh.
Who?
Oh, I don't know. I guess I'll look.
I mean, only fucking everybody's injured.
Bray Wyatt.
Bray, he's more than injured. His injury was very severe. There was a few.
I don't know. This just says WWE news. Catch the latest on Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Bray Wyatt, AJ Styles, John Cena, The Undertaker, Brock Lesnar.
Bray Wyatt? There's no way it says catch the latest on Bray Wyatt.
That's what it fucking says. I'm looking at it.
Oh my God. Somebody needs to update their ticker. Jesus Christ.
It doesn't even take me anywhere.
Just gave your phone a fucking virus. It's El Grande Americano. He's back.
McIntyre.
Oh, I'm sure he was back. Wait, did he come back out tonight?
The SmackDown taping, I'm assuming.
Oh, that'd be sweet. I thought he was going to be out for a little longer than that. I guess he just went home and nursed some injuries for a couple weeks, went to a wedding, had a good vacation, and is now back ready to kick motherfuckers in the face again. I'm down for that. I fucking love Drew.
Hoy!
Especially without KO around. Like, I feel like the only other real one. Yeah, I feel like the only other real one is Drew. KO was on with Cody Rhodes this week, though. That was a great episode. Did you listen
That
to
was a great episode. I love that they clowned on Cardona.
I did too. That Cody Rhodes podcast. At first, I was like, oh, I don't know how I'm going to feel about all this. But, like, Cody goes hard.
Yeah.
He's bringing up Cardona. He brings up AEW. They bring up the Young Bucks all the time. Cody does not they do not shy away from anything. And it is so good. They were talking about Colt Cabana. And, KO was talking about how, I'm the reason Pro Wrestling Tees exists because Colt Cabana figured out how to do this for me so that I could pay my mortgage while, I lost my job in 2012 and I decided to start wrestling full time. And it was that's why Pro Wrestling Tees exists. And it's what? The amount of names and non-WWE entities that you just named in a 10-second, in 4 sentences, really, was unreasonable. This would have been unthinkable under the Vince McMahon regime. But it's still very WWE, where it's this podcast brought to you by Wheatley Vodka. Wheatley, so good I drink it neatly. It's fucking kind of wild, right? Being a WWE fan for as long as this is wild.
Brum Breaker was at one of the fine wine and good spirits today in the Pittsburgh area signing Wheatley bottles.
See, I wish I'd have known that. I'd have gone for that. I'd have bought a Wheatley signed by. I don't even drink vodka, but I'd have bought a Wheatley signed by Braun Breaker, and I sat it in my cabinet and probably not touched it.
I've got a chance to meet him, take your picture with him, sign your bottle of Wheatley.
I wonder if he'd have signed a bottle of whiskey.
Whiskey. Well, it had to have been Buffalo Trace, because that's where Wheatley vodka comes from.
Right? Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, probably the Buffalo Trace stuff would have been there.
Buffalo Trace.
Assuming that's actually, so I have a couple bottles of it because I did find it. We found it when we got back, actually. Or no, right before we left, we found it. In the random, like the kind of
Diagole Raredi.
And so the what I was told by the guy is that like they used to be able to order it more often and they'd get it monthly, but now it's it's distributed across the state in a different way, so they get it way less. Which is why when I walked out with 2 bottles and Ashley bought 1, and we had 3, we had beat the system. So shout out to the liquor store here.
Shock the system.
We broke the system. We defeated it.
Oh, so you're like undisputed Tom.
Exactly. Undisputed. You know, I was just thinking about how much I miss Black and Gold NXT in the Undisputed Era the other day. I found a t-shirt. I was like, oh man. I was like folding it, putting it away. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, I
fucking love this shit.
I have my Undisputed Era t-shirt set aside over here to go to the pile of no sleeves for the summer.
It's pretty great. It was a pretty tremendous what a great run. What a great run. I miss it. I miss Adam Cole, and because like Kyle O'Reilly and Kyle, who's the other Kyle and the bald one in AEW now. Anyway, the one that used to be in Aussie Open, that one. They fought each other, and the crowd was all, "Let's go, Kyle! Kyle sucks! Kyle forever!" And I really thought it was hilarious. AEW's been less egregious lately, but a little more ridiculous. But like not ridiculous in a bad way, like just kind of in a funny way, which is good because for a while there it was just dumb and not funny, but now it's a little bit funny. So it's getting a little more interesting. Although I wish that Adam Cole, Samoa Joe, and guys of that ilk would get more time, because like they'll get maybe one segment every other week now, and it's like I like how on WWE, and like this is like the biggest contrast I've noticed lately is like within WWE, if it's like if there's people that they know are popular, you'll see that guy 3 or 4 different times throughout the night. Or as far as the Judgment Day is concerned, if they're part of like a big storyline of the night, they'll get 8 segments a night. Regardless, some of them are like 10 or 15 seconds here or there or whatever. But like with AEW, it's like you see Bobby Lashley and MVP and Shelton Benjamin once, they get 2 to 3 minutes. Don't see them for the rest. That's it. They're done for the night, and it's all very like segmented and rigid and everything. You very rarely see somebody twice, let alone woven through the show. And I feel like that's kind of the one thing that kind of makes it different is that like you're looking for like the one person who like, and they did this a lot with Toni Storm too, is like Toni Storm's segment would be the best segment of the night, but she'd have her little segment and then she'd have her match. And it was all like, well, this is her 10 minutes of time. And it was like, within WWE, it's like maybe they get about.
Well, Thomas, maybe you shouldn't twiddle your tits.
Right? It's every one of her promos is best promo of the year. Every last one of them. But like I caught, because AEW happens in the middle of the week, I've caught more AEW these last couple weeks than I've caught. I've had to like seek out and watch WWE, particularly SmackDown, because they've made it particularly difficult to watch SmackDown. USA has, because their app used to just be able to pull it up sort of immediately and start it over. And lately that's just not the case. They want you to start it live. They won't let you rewind it. It's been less good. So SmackDown's been hard to watch if you're not home at 8 p.m. on a Friday.
I don't know. I know that at 11 p.m. or 12 a.m. on a Friday, when I finally sit down and decide to watch it, it's right there on my little DVR, and all I have to do is hit play. But hey, man, what do I know? DVR is it's dead technology. I mean, at least that's something.
Unless you're a wrestling fan.
Unless that's something that you continue to try to remind me of every time I bring up the fact that I still DVR things. So, I'm just gonna let you. I'm just gonna let you complain.
Right.
And I'm just gonna keep watching SmackDown on my DVR on Friday whenever the fuck I want.
That's fair. You're right.
Yeah, I know I'm right. But you know what? Sometimes it's lovely to just get to hear you say that.
That you're right.
It's like winning an argument with my wife. Sometimes, man, you just gotta.
Aw, you love me so much that when you win an argument with me, it's like winning an argument with your wife. I love it.
Let's not get carried away.
It warms my heart.
It's like a comparison. It's not a love.
I love you too.
Not a love thing. Crazy.
Uh-huh. So how about this Night of Champions? It was more like a lunchtime of champions, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I was sitting on the beach when it was going on, and then.
I mean, I watched in clips way later because I don't watch that shit live for. I don't know why. You're right. I know.
I'm right again.
We have this conversation every time.
Yeah.
You paid for it anyway. It's like,
yeah,
I know.
You already paid for it.
I know.
I just,
it doesn't mean I have to like it.
I mean, CM Punk didn't have to like it either, but
it's a lot different when your bank account gets an extra zero on the end of it.
I mean, it is what it is.
Ching. Oh, fuck. Okay.
So we started off the night with the King of the Ring finals. The American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, versus the Viper, Randy Orton. Are we getting heel turn Cody?
Honestly, I'd prefer heel turn Randy, but we might. So, man, what if it's a double turn? What if Cena turns and Cody turns that's.
You know what's hilarious? I had lunch with a friend of the program today, and we were talking about this, and afterwards, he sent me this clip, and I'm gonna try to get it to where I need to get it, so that I can run it here. So please continue, and then we'll go. We'll go.
So as far as I feel about that is that that whole match I thought was good. Randy really was the one who pulled the turnbuckle off, although he was also the one who ate said turnbuckle, which turned it into a Cody cutter, and Cody was able to get the 1, 2, 3 on Randy. The end, I wasn't super duper keen. It was fine. It was a little predictable, and it was kind of one of those things where it was well, they're in Saudi Arabia, and you're not going to get anything that's. You're not going to get anything that you wouldn't have guessed anyway, because a lot of people in America particularly aren't going to watch this because it's on at noon on a Saturday in the summertime, and you're all at the pool. We were at the pool. Everybody's going to the pool. It was a nice day. Thankfully, thank fucking God, it was a nice day. We got to go to the pool. So I missed it live. And I'm sure WWE was sure that a lot of people were going to miss it live because it was a sunny Saturday, at lunchtime. And where better to be than at the community pool? That's where I spent my childhood, Saturday in the middle of the day. That's where most people did, because I know we were all at the same pool and we were all hanging out. And that's, where we are now, because that's where my kids want to be, with their friends at the pool in the summertime because it's hot. And it's we're going to sit in my house where it's also kind of warm, and the air conditioning's kicking on, so some rooms are really cold, some because I live in a fucking 85-year-old house. Yeah, man, but what if there's a double turn? That would be cool. What a cool ending to the John Cena story, right? All the lights.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, right. What was your clip? Did you find it?
Yeah, I got it. Just give me 32 seconds here.
32 seconds. Got it. And continuing on with the Randy Orton stuff, like I appreciated that Randy definitely played the heel, at least for the first part of this match. And this was probably one of my more favorite Randy matches in recent memory. It wasn't like, oh my God, blew the roof off the place. But I'm glad it's what started the show. You know what I mean?
All right, here we go. You ready to go?
I'm ready.
Okay, hopefully I did this right. Been a while.
It looks good. Oh, we don't have sound. There you go.
But there might be a story that's being played out that none of us have really been.
Okay, here we go.
An interesting story if it's intentional. So at WWE Night of Champions, Cody Rhodes won King of the Ring. Today's his birthday, but there might be a story that's being played out that none of us have really been keeping up.
Can you hear?
Now we know Cody Rhodes.
I can hear it now. Like crank the volume.
To win the WWE Undisputed Championship back from John Cena at SummerSlam. However, there is a story that could be playing in plain sight if you just look back to when Cody Rhodes first won the world title. When everybody was celebrating Cody Rhodes' massive victory, the people in the ring included John Cena, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, CM Punk, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, and LA Knight. And with the exception of LA Knight, Cody Rhodes has had run-ins with each and everybody who celebrated with him with winning the WWE Championship. And that ties back to the segment that Cody Rhodes had with CM Punk before the Rumble this year, where Cody Rhodes was questioning if being WWE Champion was worth it because the stress was getting to him at that point. It's an interesting story to see Cody Rhodes progress as a WWE main eventer and champion and seeing what the title does to him and his relationships around him. And as a result, what kind of person he will be as not only champion, but without a crew to call his friends. Whether intentional or not, I really do believe that WrestleMania photo of everybody holding up Cody Rhodes is going to play a certain role in Cody Rhodes' development. Whether that's a heel turn, whether that's going to make him more of a no-nonsense champion, and be a little bit more hard-nosed, because as we saw in that Night of Champions match against Randy Orton, he didn't hesitate on going for the Viper's weak spot, which was the back. Cody Rhodes' first run as WWE Champion was about adapting and learning to be the top guy, and now with his second championship reign seemingly on the horizon, that next phase of development is going to be one of the more crucial parts of Cody Rhodes in WWE. I know a portion of the fan base want Cody Rhodes to turn heel, and it would definitely be a very interesting development. The man himself even said that he's coming to the tail end of his babyface turn, whether it's 1 or 3 years. Personally, the Cody lie is always strong when he does these interviews, and in my opinion, I think he just said that to try to keep the fan base on their toes on when it's going to happen. But whether he wins or loses against John Cena at SummerSlam, in my opinion, I think it's going to be a tremendous impact in how Cody Rhodes is going to be viewed as a champion moving forward. Did you notice Cody Rhodes is facing everybody who helped celebrate him?
Yeah. Mr. John Cena.
Hey, shout out to Richie Morris for setting that up for us to use a little bit here.
For sure. Well done. No, I think that the potential is there. Whether or not they pull the trigger, I think, is debatable. I know that there were reports that they wanted Cody to be the heel in this whole John Cena run, and for Cody to turn heel on John and then lose the title. I think this works, for my money, a lot better. I know that this John Cena run has its critics, but I'm not one of them. I think that this has been great. Honestly, I think everything John has done to garner scour from the internet to be like, you fucking goddamn it. I feel like that's just great heel work, if I'm being honest. It's just really, really good heel work.
Yeah.
It's not Dominic Mysterio level heel work, but it's
Dom's a babyface now.
Yeah, right? Dom's babyface heel. They boo him out of it's cheering him now. It's oh, he's a bad guy. Boo. But this is really good. He's actually people are actually mad. So I feel like they're trying to set Cody up to get kind of similar heat in that regard, in that he's sort of built everybody up around him, like Sami Zayn and the others. I don't know that it'll work as well because Randy's not Randy's babyface now, but in the same level of Randy's a great heel. Let's face it, Randy's best work is heel work.
No arguments here.
He would agree with that himself. He said as much in his promo with John Cena. Like, this is weird. Why am I the good guy and you're the bad guy? Like, let's fucking drop this facade kind of thing. And I think that Randy's hopefully coming towards another heel run, because as much as I like to see him around as like that, you know, as I'm a fan of Randy Orton, and I'm like, oh, good for him. But at this point, I'm now sort of getting to the point where it's like, all right, man, let's fucking go be mean to somebody else in a way that's gonna make me go to bed and be uncomfortable. Like, let's go back to that Randy Orton.
I really would have loved to have seen him kick fucking Cody's head right off his fucking shoulders.
Kick him in the nuts once Cody's celebrating with the king. Oh my God. Could you imagine if he did it? Yeah. If he was just behind him and kicked Cody in the nuts, Cody falls down with the crown still on his head. And then Randy punts his head and the crown goes flying. Oh man. Could you have imagined? That sounds like a missed opportunity to me.
I mean, just saying.
Sounds like a missed opportunity to me.
So Cody Rhodes goes on to SummerSlam to take on John Cena for the undisputed WWE Championship, and you and some others feel like that's prime double turn opportunity chance right there.
I'd be great. It'd be great. I don't know that it happens at SummerSlam, and maybe Cody's descent into madness is slow. Maybe he starts breaking it off with his friends, and maybe John Cena's last, maybe they drag it out a little bit. Maybe there's some legs to this, Maybe it doesn't all pop off at SummerSlam. But
I fucking can't with this guy. Like, friend of the show, Pat Martin. Can Cody be a heel? I know I can't be a heel, and Cody is my half brother.
It's EEL, not EAL.
He tried.
Heel is what I need if I play Fortnite with my son.
Hey, friend Pat Martin, I wouldn't have corrected you, and you're fucking Team Tom over here. You know what I mean? Like, he couldn't wait. He couldn't wait.
It's like the heel of a boot,
he couldn't wait.
Which
that's
Cody
true.
Rhodes likes to push. Heel Cody Rhodes will throw into
that's
the nuts.
Your One Fall WrestleCast Lord and Savior over there.
Of
Team Tom.
Of a white meat babyface. That being said,
it's supposed to be your buddy, pal.
Can Cody play a heel? Yes. Cody's
actually a great heel.
Yeah, as I say, heel Cody in like Ring of Honor, even sort of like pre-AEW and NWA World Champion Cody Rhodes heel was a force to be reckoned with. Does anybody else remember? Fuck the Revival. The being the elite Cody Rhodes.
You're so funny, Tom. I could care less about spelling. I always spell wood.
What? Oh, like WOULD. You spell it wood, WOOD, regardless. Yeah. That's actually pretty funny. I like that. Truth be told, as long as you're consistent with it.
How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodcut? Fuck me.
There you go. As long as you're consistent with it, Pat, I feel like that's just a gimmick. It's not a deficiency. But I appreciate the gimmick.
Hey, Pat, he just insulted you. Deficient.
I did not. I said he was not deficient.
That's an insult.
That he's not deficient?
I hope you're really enjoying that hashtag Team Tom.
Remember, I'm the heel of this podcast.
You think you're the heel of this podcast. Remember I used to pick fights with Derek? Like, I used to just like shit all over Derek, and then I would set you guys up to argue over something stupid.
And then you'd leave and go shit or something.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, you'd be like, you'd have to poop, so you'd have to like figure out how to make us fight.
Yeah.
That was the trick.
Those were the good old days.
We were on to you. Sometimes we talked about how you just set us up to fight because you had to poop. I'm sure you knew because you edited the podcast and watched them later.
R.I.P. Derek.
He's not even dead. I mean,
but we're dead to him. I just
R.I.P. us then. Honestly,
yeah, I guess I don't know.
R.I.P. me.
Tom is my boy. He basically said because I'm consistent with my spelling, I'm smart.
Exactly. You got to be consistent with it. then it's a gimmick.
This is wild.
It's like when Santino Marella was just mispronouncing everybody's name. It was his gimmick. Look at me, I'm Baptista.
We've referenced Santino Marella more today than we probably should have.
It's because he was on Chris Van Vliet. And he remind me of all his greatest hits.
Friend of the show, Pat Martin. I was a Derek guy.
I mean, to be fair, I was too a lot of times. I love Derek. I miss Derek.
R.I.P. Derek.
I mean, like you said, R.I.P. us actually to him.
Yeah, you said that. I mean, no.
I hope he mourned his loss.
Yeah, we'll get another random like 4 a.m. text message. You know, I was thinking if fucking Velveteen Dream hadn't have fucking done that elbow drop off the top of the cage in fucking 2017, that it's like, and then you wake up the next morning and you look at it and you're like, what? None of this happened, Derek, ever.
When did the Velveteen Dream jump off of anything?
I mean,
You have to like ask him very specifically, like, can you show me what you're talking about?
and then
like,
he'll answer you like 9 months later.
yeah, and then like he answers you, and it's like, oh, okay, because you don't know even what he's referring to.
I just don't know. It's hard for me to trust a guy that's got so much misplaced hatred for Mauro Ranallo.
Right. I still miss Mauro Ranallo. Mamma mia.
Mamma mia. Hey, Derek, if you're listening, man, we miss you.
We do.
I think you still. I'm confident you still listen to the show every week.
I hope he can find a nice, quiet, cool spot in his home to come and chat with us one day.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be awesome.
He has a garage, right? And a fan, like a box fan.
Yeah.
Does he need a box fan? Because if all that's holding him back right now is a box fan, I fucking got him.
Well, you know, down there in the holler, electricity's hard to come by. You know, and old Bubba Joe up the road needs to make sure that he's got that air conditioner for his prize-winning heifer.
Got to make sure that CPAP machine's plugging along.
Excuse me, that's disrespectful.
You're not in the holler. You
No,
can power
but-
your CPAP machine easily.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes I wonder though. So, anyways, moving on. We had what else did we have? We had something that didn't matter. You got the card in front of you. I just tried.
Oh,
to
for right. Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross.
Oh
Didn't matter. That
yeah.
shit didn't matter.
no, it didn't matter at all.
Hey, it was the first time we've seen Karrion Kross on television that wasn't a main event in like fucking 6 months.
We haven't seen Karrion Kross in a ring in like 6 months.
At least, I mean, we've seen it. He's been beating the shit out of Tozawa like 6 weeks in a row. But
Did you see that the reason why he doesn't wrestle is because he refuses to take flat back bumps?
no, I didn't see that. Who said that?
It's just it was a backstage rumor that had been like put out there that
Why not?
he doesn't like to take flat back bumps.
I mean, that sounds like a way to not. I mean, he took a bunch with Sammy.
Yeah, he certainly did. I noticed he took a real hard flat back coming out of the ring onto the floor.
He ate
And
a
I
blue
said-
thunder bomb real hard.
And I said, "Oh, look at that. That's a flat back bump."
And he took a couple outside the ring. Took a blue thunder bomb. The haluva kick that he ate was flat back. I don't know what we're talking about.
You can tell that fucking him and Scarlett haven't done that entrance on live TV in a long time.
No, they did it, and it
wasn't good.
it was. They looked nervous. They looked like a little shocked. I mean, they were in a huge fucking stadium.
Friend of the show, Pat Martin. Boys, I'll buy him his own she shed just for the podcast. Just ask his wife.
Oh shit!
The final boss.
Does that mean we gotta ask?
I mean,
I think Ashley was volunteered to ask.
we're just gonna move on from this subject. So yeah, I mean, I was a little
Bet you like
disappointed.
Pat.
Disappointed Karrion Kross didn't win this match. If I'm being honest with you.
I guess he was on TV tonight. I didn't see. I don't know if there was another wrestling match or what. I don't know if but he got more TV time. I hope this is the start of like him getting to try.
Oh,
Again?
what you said?
What? Getting to try?
You're so fucking fickle.
I know. Look,
Fucking Daniel Bryan was right. Wrestling fans are fickle.
if you're doing good
6 months ago, you could have gave 2 fucks to see Kevin on your
no,
TV screen ever
1
again.
year. Give me 1 year, and I would refer to him as Kevin. It's like, well, be nice to see
Well,
Kevin.
once he got rid of all the dead weight around him and he just focused on being him instead of trying to be a faction leader.
A garbage. God, has there been a worse faction than his faction? I'm glad they didn't.
Yeah, the Seth Riders.
This is fantastic. That faction's fantastic. And
Nah, I
I'm
don't think
sorry.
so.
Nah, I think you're wrong.
Nah.
That shit's amazing right now.
Hot fucking trash can water.
First of all, the Death Riders still exist and they still suck. So it's not.
Give me Moxley over the Seth Riders any day.
Wow. That, sir.
I'm good.
Sir.
Shit's fucking obnoxious.
Sir, that's the point.
Listen, I don't know if you know this or not, but John Moxley has single-handedly elevated the AEW championship by not letting us fucking see.
Okay. The only reason AEW sucks is because John Moxley is their champion.
Hey, you calm down, bruv.
Fucking Will Ospreay and it's fucking. The only reason we suck is because you're our champion. Like, if not, for those of you listening on Spotify, I just made a like, damn it, I shouldn't have said that. Face and reaction, because that's exactly how that went.
Certainly was how that went. So, I think big waste of equity here just to get Sami Zayn a motherland pop and be a part of the show that, you know, he gets to go out there and just get a huge pop. And I don't think that this was the right decision in my opinion. Moving past that, we had the Queen of the Ring final, which gave us
Jade
Cargill versus Asuka, which, if I'm being honest, was Jade Cargill's best wrestling match ever.
Yeah, Asuka looked. So Asuka and Jade, I thought looked great. I feel like they're, for whatever reason, they seem to work together really, really, really well. Did that come off to you?
Yes.
As though like, because I've seen Asuka have matches with people where it's like, well, that was a weird mismatch, right? And it doesn't happen terribly often, but like it happens often enough. And it's like, well, that's a weird mismatch. This was like a match made in heaven. If I'm being honest, they really like Asuka sort of very much showed herself to be the veteran, but was also absolutely 100% there for every one of Jade's big power moves. So it really was a great balance of like, you know, veteran, you know, leading the sort of rookie to kind of really into a good match. And I agree with you wholeheartedly that this was Jade's best match. And I don't think it's close. And I think that ever, period. Right. Exactly. Whether it was WWE or AEW, like this was
ever
leagues better. And, you know, kudos to Jade. She's really, I think, been coming along in a big way.
I just don't, you know what? So is AEW. AEW's still coming along too. I think that we've got to be cautiously optimistic whenever it comes to raining down praise on Jade Cargill because she had one good match in her entire fucking wrestling career.
So I mean, this was the best
and it was a high profile spot, like no question about it.
And so this was the best one, yes, but also like I feel like it's been a decently steady build really since she's come to WWE. I mean, she had her hot and cold moments, and I think they protected her really well in AEW. But in WWE, I really feel like they've pushed her to become better. And I think that we're starting to see more consistently anyway, we're starting to see sort of progress with that. I think a lot of the work she did with Naomi prior to this was also much better than her previous work. And, you know, even her work with Bianca Belair as a tag team champion, where she was just sort of a hot tag. And even I thought that was okay. Like she was starting to get the, like a good rhythm of a hot tag in that regard too. So I hope this is like a continuation of progress. This isn't like the peak. But I guess we'll see what happens. But it is. I agree with you. It was a great match.
I also think that we're in this really weird spot coming out of this match with Jade Cargill winning, and then going on to SummerSlam to take on Tiffany Stratton, with Naomi having the Money in the Bank briefcase just kind of floating around. It puts you in a spot where it's like, well, what do you do here? Do you continue to let Tiffany's star shine, or do you give Jade the win? But then what does that do to Naomi? Or do you let Tiffany win and let Naomi cash in on her, and then Jade and Naomi go into a program, and eventually you get the title on Jade? Because I feel like that's the road that we're leading to, right? Like from the PR perspective, having somebody that looks like Jade Cargill holding your title with your logo as big as fucking piss on that thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's got to be the move, right?
Or what if, just to piggyback it off of that, what if, okay, so say Naomi pins Tiffany after Tiffany, say Naomi shows up and Jade is distracted by Naomi, right? Tiffy takes out Jade. However that happens, Tiffy takes out Jade during that. But then Naomi takes out Tiffy. Naomi pins Tiffy. Jade is pissed because then you have then immediately you can pull Tiffy out, especially if there's controversy. You can pull Tiffy out, or even just switch brands, throw her on Raw and just let that, or throw her on SmackDown and let that play out. And then you have Naomi and Jade, but Naomi's the champion, and then you've got Naomi carrying around the title for a little bit, and then eventually when you have Jade beat her, then you have Jade doing it, and maybe you have Jade do it, at WrestleMania, and give her a big WrestleMania moment. I don't see a problem with that. It becomes a time thing because it's August, and then it's like, well, what do you do for 6 months? It's like, well, how do we drag this on 6 months? Maybe they can, maybe they can't. Do they, introduce other people? Keep having, Jade show up to be like a thorn in Naomi's side. And can Naomi carry this title for 6 months and then build a WrestleMania match? Does she have that under her? I'm singing her praises for just immediately, her gimmick change, because she needed it for a decade.
Yeah, but I mean, she's carried the SmackDown Women's Championship twice.
But not for a 6 month, like a 6 month reign that I feel like is a really hard, Roman did. I'm just saying, I don't know that you go from somebody who's like, Jesus, I don't know how well this works.
Bring him to the floor.
Yeah, have that glow gimmick that just sucked and was the low card for a decade, and just be like, oh no, now I can carry this title for 6 months. I would be interested. I think that she deserves the chance, especially with how well.
Oh, what a backhanded compliment you're about to give.
It's not a backhanded compliment. It's
just the cynicism in your voice right now.
Look, I think she's done fantastic since the gimmick change, and I absolutely think that everything she's doing belongs in the main event picture.
God,
but does she get a 6 month title reign out of it?
Sound like such a fucking mark, bro.
Does she get a 6 month title reign out of it? Which I really want to know what your honest opinion is. Do you think they get a 6 month title reign out of Naomi?
I mean, did you think we were going to get a 6 month title reign out of Tiffany Stratton? Because I certainly didn't. Did you think we were going to get a 6 month title reign out of Damian Priest? Because I certainly didn't.
That's fair.
I mean, I think that we've seen where Triple H is willing to give somebody the ball and let them run with it and let them grow in front of us, because he understands that people are going to make mistakes and that people are trying to do things and create better opportunities for themselves when they have championships. I think Triple H believes the old adage that, sometimes people need the belt and sometimes the belt needs people, and I think that Naomi having a 6-month title reign, as the women's world champion, is very much a case of her needing the belt. It legitimizes her entire career if she can put together a strong 6-month run that's not a fucking bring it to the flow with no character development and no why am I watching this? It's checking a box. Is what her 2 title reigns previously feel like. We're just checking this box. Let's try to see something meaningful from it. I don't think that that's a problem, but I think that Jade Cargill is going to be the one that eventually at some point holds that title above her head. And maybe you're right. Maybe it is WrestleMania. Maybe it's not SummerSlam. Maybe something happens and Naomi cashes in at SummerSlam, and then they're able to use their past beef to kind of navigate all the way through the Royal Rumble. Maybe Jade wins the Royal Rumble, challenges Naomi at WrestleMania. Something like that.
That would be great, actually. Like, let's say Naomi puts her away in like dastardly fashion, and then Jade has to like crawl back and win the Royal Rumble to like get back at Naomi.
Yeah, and I think that just we'll use Zelina Vega as prime example to the fact that Triple H is willing to to try and make chicken salad out of chicken shit when it comes to a talent. And I mean, somebody that's as tenured as Naomi and somebody that's been a multiple time tag team champion and, a 2 or 3 time world champion. And, she's been in big spots and she's been Miss Consistency. And I mean, she's technically a part of the bloodline. There's no way that Paul Heyman's not helping her behind the scenes. There's no way that Jimmy and Jay and Solo and all those guys aren't in her ear. Hey, you need to try this. Hey, why don't you do this? Hey, maybe try this. I think now is the time you need to strike when the iron is hot. And I just don't think that, based off of a single performance in a packed stadium in Saudi Arabia with possibly one of the best women to ever step inside the ropes, gives us the ability to classify Jade Cargill as a main event talent. I'm just not there. I'm not there. She's going to have to continue to do things. And I think that if we put the belt on her at SummerSlam, it's going to be a fucking disaster.
I like how you eventually walked all the way around, but still ended up where I was.
Well, yeah. I mean,
let's not have it happen at SummerSlam. Let's have Naomi cash in and drag that out.
Yeah, but I'm also not gonna sit here and let you disrespect the goddamn good name of the Glow.
Look, that gimmick was terrible.
You better proceed with caution, young man.
Yes, and now I am. I am happy to proceed with caution. Good Lord, give me that gimmick.
This fucking guy. Somebody gives you something and slathers a little bit of teriyaki on it, you're fucking sold. You don't give a shit if it's a fucking cat turd or not.
A lot of cats in this house.
Flavor it up with some teriyaki and you're fucking good to go.
And marinara sauce.
Crazy. Fucking marinara sauce. Yeah. So, moving on, we've got Solo Sikoa versus
Solo
and for the United States Championship. What do you think about this one?
Solo with help. We got a debut. What's his face?
Hikulo.
Hikulo.
Who's now Tala Tonga.
Is that his name? Tala Tonga?
Yeah.
Oh well, fuck.
So we got Tonga. We have Tongans galore. We have Tongaloa. We have Tamatonga. We have Tala Tonga. Now we just need Timu Tonga.
He can be. Never mind. Is Hikulo even a Tongan? I thought he was Samoan.
But at this point, I can't keep track.
I feel like he's part of the bloodline. Actually, part of the bloodline. No, but long story short, this becomes a Pacific Islander fucking festival of guys. And Jesus Christ, Solo wins and is the new U.S. champion. I fucking love Solo, by the way. I'm all in on this. I'm all in on Solo because Solo did get involved to get Jacob to win the U.S. title. And then Jacob defended it, kind of a lot, like weekly, sort of running up to this. It wasn't a long reign, but like motherfucker, like defended it every week, dominantly. And so then Solo taking it off of him, which was probably like his 5th title defense in like 2 months. So, kudos to that guy. But I do feel like with all of these U.S. title changes, that it's become like the U.S. title has become sort of the hot potato, both men and women. And like even the women's one is really only, a couple of months old. Like as it's new as of this year, and we've already had 3 champions. So it's kind of like, all right, let's maybe like
What's new as of this year?
the women's U.S. title.
Oh yeah.
It's like we're already on champion number 3, and it's not July.
No, it's Julia. You fucking.
Oh my god. Yes, it's Julia. What a trajectory for Julia, right?
Fuck yeah, dude.
Like she just debuted this year, and now she's already main roster holding her first singles title. It took fucking Jey Uso 9 years.
Yeet. And then it took him 61 days to lose his first singles title, and then 75 to lose his second singles title.
He's not here for a long time. He's here for a good time. What do you want me to say?
That's going to be me here in about 25 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Jesus. I love it, but Jesus.
Hey man, I calls them like I sees them. So, I did find it interesting though. I saw a little reel or TikTok or fucking whatever the fuck they are, whatever social media platform I consume my short form content. It was a video of Zilla Fatu and a bunch of other Samoan folks watching that match, and
there are so goddamn many of them.
Somebody goes, well, that's pretty cool. I'm gonna go tell Rikishi. And then dude walks away, and Zilla Fatu looks at the camera and goes, he's like, Jacob, give me a call, brother.
I would love that, by the way. Oh god, Chupacabra knocking things down. I would love that, by the way, because like, who Zilla is? Who's Zilla's kid? Is he Jacob's brother?
I don't remember where he falls on the. I want to say
is he?
There's too goddamn many of them.
Is he? Oh god, who's the other one?
He's 25 years old. His dad was Umaga.
Is he Umaga's kid? Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like his father was like, what was he, a newborn when his father passed?
I mean, cousins are the Usos.
God, he must have been. When did Umaga die? (2009). So shit, he would have been. If he's 25 now, 2009 was 16 years ago. So 25 minus.
He'd been like 9.
He'd been like 9. Jesus.
So that's an interesting development, especially considering that earlier in the year, when Zilla Fatu was asked if he acknowledged our tribal chief. Speaking of our tribal chief, I also read a backstage teaser that he's going to be off TV for a substantial amount of time, and when he comes back, he will not be referred to as the tribal chief anymore.
Yeah, that might be the best.
They're trying to make this OTC thing die, which is why he's being held off TV.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I don't know if it's gonna die. I think they're still going to chant, "Oh TC, oh TC" when he comes back. But like, I feel like he should bring back the like wreck everyone and leave shirt like that. Like,
You just want to buy it again because you lost yours.
no,
And now you just have Timu Tom's version.
exactly. I wore it to dust and it shrank. It was like tight here. It got weird because like everything fit here, but it was like,
Everybody knows you got to size up on them WWE shirts. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint with those things.
Jesus Christ. I feel like I need to get like a 4X and just like, well, I can wear this like as a nightgown and like, you know, in 10 years it'll fit.
No, just tie it off to the side.
Yeah.
Know. I bet you look real cute. Fucking Homer.
Look, pull it out and have the little like loop down here.
This fucking guy. Only you would embrace such a fucking hateful comment. Like, I just don't. I don't know what to do with you. So you think that was the right decision then, Jacob Fatu losing the United States Championship?
Only because I love Solo. I love you, Solo. No, Solo. I love you. Anyway, no, I love Solo. I think he's hilarious. I'm glad he's back. I'm glad that he was the one to take it. And I think that his promos following this will sort of like lead the blocks of like, Jacob, I gave this to you and now I can take it away. Kind of that kind of, you know, vibe. And he'll probably say that exactly. He may have said it tonight. I didn't watch yet. As soon as we're done, I'm going to go put it on, take a shower, do all that shit.
Well, he probably said it tonight, but we probably won't see it till Friday.
Right. So there we go. I can't even see.
Now, we would have seen it tonight had we not been some lazy bitches.
Had we not spent fucking $300 on two tickets?
I could have bought a small car with as much money as I spent in Florida this week.
Yeah, right? Like, it's not. Prices are not okay.
I drew the line at my $110 breakfast.
Yikes.
Yeah. I looked at everybody and I said, there's a McDonald's right across the street. We're having breakfast there for the rest of the week, or we just won't eat breakfast. Choice is yours.
Happy to buy McDonald's on the app. Right.
Yeah.
Sandwich is $2.
Yeah, I'll even walk across the street and pick it up for you. Nope, we are not spending $110. You know what really pissed me off, though, about the resort that I was staying at? Best bang for your buck, I swear. You know, I wasn't really sure what to expect. My wife did a really, really great job booking that vacation. But, like, they didn't let you tip. Everybody just automatically put resort gratuity on there.
I don't hate that.
I mean, I do when they offer subpar service.
I mean, yes. Yeah. I mean, in general, I don't hate that. As long as everything's cool. Like, if things start to suck and I'm like, wait, I'm paying you gratuity because you ruined my shoes? Like, what? What's happening here? That's problematic. But, I don't know. Was it problematic? Did they suck?
My $110 breakfast sucked.
That's the worst. You know, I often find that like once breakfast passes like $30, it's like it starts to get worse. You know,
That's the law of diminishing return for sure.
Exactly. It's like what just happened here?
I mean, I can't buy golden chicken eggs.
No.
Like I can buy a fucking Wagyu fucking piece of steak. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like an egg is an egg and an egg is an egg.
Yeah. Even if it's even the nicest egg you can buy still costs less than $1 per egg. It's like, cartons of eggs are $8. It's like, yeah, that's still less than $1 an egg. There's 12 in there. Or no, what's in a carton? But like, yeah, 12 packs of eggs are $8. That's still less than $1 an egg. And if you only had 2, let's even round it up. Let's say it was 12. That's $2 of the best eggs ever. Most expensive eggs, $2. Rubbing your nipples over here.
Oh no, I was itchy.
Oh.
I mean, I did get some sun, and like my body, while I did not get burned, my body is angry because I got sun.
Is it hot?
No. I managed my sun to skin ratio extremely well.
Oh, good for you. You kept the sun rotating around you.
Yes.
That's
I
good.
was the point of gravity.
Good.
So
Good.
yeah,
That helps.
So then, obviously, moving on, we've got the main event, which was CM Punk versus Juan Cena.
Mr. John Cena. I couldn't help but think that I'd seen this match from the two of them before.
Oh yeah, because we absolutely had. It was the same match they had 16 years ago.
Okay, yeah, they were sort of, it felt in a minute I felt they were doing it on purpose, and then I was just like, are they though? Like,
I was really excited for this, and this whole thing all the way through the match felt forced. I know we already touched on the lead up, the build promos, and but it did. It felt extremely
just
forced.
the day before, the afternoon earlier.
Yeah, it felt extremely forced, and I'm extremely disappointed. I feel like we this was the AEW rush job if I've ever seen one. Hot shot if I've ever seen one.
And I feel like this is a very Saudi Arabia level of like, oh my god, a match you all want to see that we patched together without really putting the time and effort into it.
But it's John Cena and CM Punk, so that should be enough for you.
Right, exactly. But that's
it's almost an insult to our intelligence as wrestling fans.
It's like well, that should be enough for the end. We're playing the greatest hits here, and it's like Metallica coming out and opening with Master of Puppets or something, and it's like, but
like, that would be god awful if they did that.
Who, Metallica?
Yeah.
You got to build the crowd up. You don't just go, hey, this song's 8 fucking minutes, and then just go. And it's like, yeah, that'd be cool for me because like I'm ready, but like you gotta like get into it and like just come out to like something new.
Yeah, or let me get a little start me off, a little Saint Anger, huh? Maybe a
load,
maybe a
reload.
Yeah, a little Hardwired Self-Destruct.
Yeah.
What's that fucking
For Whom the Bell Tolls?
Yeah, that's a great opener. And obviously, you're gonna get the Ecstasy of Gold with the intros.
Yeah, you gotta get that. You gotta come out. You gotta give me a Creeping Death to get me really hyped up, and then you go into Master of Puppets.
Yeah, and then you shut me down with fucking One.
Nothing else
Enter
matters.
Sandman, nothing else matters.
I get a beer. I come back. We're fucking Damage Incorporated, and we're out, baby. But yeah, it's it was a heavy trigger pull, and I think it was a little early, and it missed the mark for me a little bit. I think it was, it wasn't all. It didn't miss the target entirely, but it was a good ways away from the center, and I kind of really wished that. I kind of really hoped this would have been what happened at SummerSlam, right? Like they would have had a few more weeks to build, and we'd have maybe seen this in August.
Yeah, but now we're going to get Cody Rhodes and John Cena.
Again, right, within 6 months. And I realize it's John's last year, and he's done in December. But I'm like, man, like, we could have given Cody and John till December. You give John and CM Punk till August, and maybe that's the end of the road. But I guess they probably want to get something else in. I'm sure they want to have Roman Reigns come back and do some bullshit or whatever it is and build it up. Maybe have The Rock come out and like, I don't know, give somebody a hand job and then call him a jabroni. I don't really know, but like. It just seems like we're missing an opportunity to maybe insert something else in here that won't feel as good had we just given this the time it deserved,
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And then, obviously the match happens, and then Seth Rollins shows up and he tries to cash in. And then, John Cena teases a babyface turn, and then Pentagon comes out. And it's like,
And he dances for a long time. And you're like, what's happening?
how does Penta fit into all of this?
I don't. I was when it started happening. I was like, huh?
I mean,
then
good for
like-
Penta. Like, don't
Yeah.
that he was, given the opportunity to step into that role. But it just, it's one of those things that, like, we look at and we criticize AEW for doing.
Yeah.
And I think that we would be remiss if we didn't criticize the decision to insert him into this. And I understand he's got a little bit of history with Braun Breaker,
Who did run out to meet him?
but I don't know, man. It just all felt forced.
It felt like we hadn't seen Penta in a little while, and they were like, well, we got to bring him to Saudi Arabia. Well, where do we put him in? Let's make Braun Breaker get mad at him, right? And that'll fuck up the Seth Rollins thing. And I get it, but like, and the internet got this wrong because like, the internet was like John Cena's getting his ass beat and Penta's just dancing up there, but that's not what it was. It was CM Punk was getting his ass beat and Penta was out to make the save, but like Penta was dancing like 100 yards away from the ring, and this is all part of the like same thing because they're in that like huge arena in Saudi Arabia where like, okay, here's where this is. There's people now for the next 100 yards, and here's the ring. And it's like Penta's dancing like really far away doing the surf walk thing. And it just seemed, it was like, remember when like they did the thing where they had to zigzag their way to the ring and everybody looked awkward zigzagging?
Oh my God, that first SummerSlam Triple
Yeah.
H was in charge when
Yeah.
we got the Damage Control debut.
Yeah, and they were just
Oh
like,
my God.
yeah, it was like, oh my God, it's like they're
They
gonna be
still
walking.
do that, though.
They've been Charlotte walked to the ring for like 10 minutes
Woo.
that day because she stopped and like
Wow,
high
she
fived,
stopped.
and-
She stopped, had a chance to reply to one of Kaiser's DMs, and
I think she took a bathroom break on her way.
probably took a bathroom selfie while she was there. Sent that to Kaiser,
Exactly, definitely.
and then finished her entrance. But I don't know, man. I hate being the guy that's gonna regurgitate Tom's bullshit, but this felt like a glorified house show. And for the first time, I will say that because I've been a staunch supporter of the fact that they've done a decent job with these Saudi shows. And
So the only part that felt not glorified house show was really the U.S. titles, the U.S. title stuff, because everything else, like, I could have predicted it going in, and the fact that like I felt like they were just gonna even push it to Friday as I'm watching them. It's like, oh, this is happening now so that the actual title change can happen on SmackDown. And it was like when Solo actually won, I was legitimately shocked, only because my expectations were that of, oh, this is a glorified house show. And like I've fast forwarded through a lot of this already because I'm watching it way after the fact. And like, oh, this is just gonna like Solo's gonna win, or like Jacob's gonna win, or there's gonna be a disqualification or whatever. And that's not what happened. And oh, we actually did miss one. We missed Rhea versus Raquel in the street fight, which also was all pre-taped. It was terrible, but it was not good. It was very fast forwardable, but yes, we missed that. But otherwise, because it was forgettable.
Yeah.
And I hope that the both of them get better than that. But this was again, yes, like you said, a glorified house show. So I'm not particularly disappointed that like the women's match was just sort of, well, here you go, you bunch of chooches, because like you don't want to see them anyway because you're not supposed to or whatever. Your stupid laws. So yeah. So Blood Money 38 went off seemingly without a hitch, but yeah, a glorified house show.
Also agree, glorified house show. I'll be interested to see where the chips fall coming out of it, especially with this Cody Rhodes thing. Obviously there's just title implications that we did get coming out of Night of Champions. I just don't know that it really means a whole hell of a lot, but I guess we're going to find out here in the next coming weeks.
You know what I think that it really does though, is it makes the following Raw and SmackDown like really have to like embrace the fallout of it. And it's not so much that anything really happens, but like it really makes them have to pivot from there to make what just happened seem like a big deal. So like when we get back to Florida, when we do the next show in Fort Lauderdale, or actually Pittsburgh this week, weirdly enough, we're going to pivot from here. And so it really makes those shows kind of really good and a big deal. So hopefully that's the case this time. I've heard some good things, some better things even than what happened over the weekend.
Over under on the SmackDown venue being empty on Friday when we watched the tape.
So because Raw started at 6, and I'm sure they told everybody when they got there, it might be empty towards the end still, because that's a lot of wrestling. That's a lot of wrestling. And SmackDown this week does go to 2 hours. So it was probably,
about 6 hours worth of wrestling.
Yeah. So at least 5. They probably got some main event, and then they got, probably a tight 2 hours of Raw. And then
whatever set changes they need to make, which Ring Apron. It's not like AEW. They do it, WWE far more digital than AEW. So definitely just had to change the 2 ring aprons. Probably left the ropes neutral. I haven't watched anything yet. Or maybe they just throw a quick tape job on the ropes for the Friday taping. I'll be interested to see some of that stuff, because those are the types of things that I pay attention to when I watch a show. So, overall, though, I agree with you. I think that we just need to embrace the fallout and just see where the chips fall and where we're going to go from here.
Yeah. And, with any luck, I think that we're probably now on the road to SummerSlam. So I expect a lot of things to start moving quickly. And it hopefully becoming more must-see TV, to the point to where when I'm on vacation again, the next time when I go to the beach, my beach trip is later. This was a wedding trip. To the point to when I go to the beach that I am like, well, it's Monday. I'm going to be here watching this. You guys have fun at the beach. I'll see you in a little bit. I'll be right here though, and I'll have my whatever beachy beer. Oh, really? Oh gosh, now I'm in trouble. And that's my hope, is that wrestling's really good, so that I spend some of my vacation watching great wrestling on the beach with a delicious beachy beer.
WWE Unreal coming to Netflix July 29th. So we're just a little under a month away from that whole smashing of kayfabe.
I don't know that it'll be any more than like what Cody's podcast is, or what like the Stephanie's Place podcast is.
Except this is going to give us all the inner workings, the production meetings, the behind the scenes conversations.
The production meetings, I feel like, will be really cool.
Yeah, I'm into this hitting Netflix. I really am.
And I feel like they'll keep it enough kayfabe that, like, I don't know, just based on what I've seen, I'm not thinking that like they won't at least allude to kayfabe, or like sort of try to keep it in the sense of like, look, everybody knows, but also Kevin Owens is like, Sami Zayn's stupid. Like I feel like that's the like, and they'll still refer to everybody as like the, it'll be Kevin Owens, Triple H, like stuff like that. It won't be like, oh, Kevin Steen,
So,
although they did call Seth Rollins Colby. Did anybody notice that on the
trailer?
No, the Cody Rhodes podcast. They referred to him as Colby, and then they named everybody else by their wrestler names. And I paused it because I was watching it on YouTube while I was working. I paused it and I went, did they just call Seth Rollins Colby and then move on? Jesus. Anyway. That was my big takeaway. I was like, Colby.
All right, bud. Well, I guess we just got one last piece of business here, and that is none other than the world famous One Fall WrestleCast match of the week.
Okay, so my match of the week is not going to be all that shocking because I loves me a good title change. I really, really do. And I'm going to toss this in a way because the match itself wasn't, but like I liked seeing the title change hands, and I appreciate that it got elevated a little bit more than it had been prior. My match of the week was Julia versus Zelina Vega for the women's U.S. title. One, because I think the right thing happened with taking the title off Zelina. As we'd said before, I think that she's better in other roles, and the fact that she got to fulfill this is great, but like, let's put her into that like semi-bumping, I'm going to give somebody a Hurricane Rana manager role with Andrade or whomever would benefit from that level of heel manager is the way to go with her. I'm glad she got her flowers, so to speak, but it's time for her to move on and do what she's actually good at. And I thought Julia looked great in this match. I really like what Julia's been doing as far as like, she's sort of filled the Sasha Banks role better than Sasha Banks does, and where she takes these gnarly bumps. It looks like she died, but like they're gnarlier bumps and she's still perfectly fine. And she doesn't throw a tantrum and run away every other month. So I want to see where Julia goes with this. I'm hoping that she can take it differently. And because I thought her NXT run was short but pretty good and very meaningful. So I'm interested to see what like sort of a long form, like, okay, here you are on television now. Let's fucking go. You've got this, because she's done great every week. So now I'm interested to see her as like sort of a main singles champion in the women's side, and just see what she does with it, because now, you know, it's okay. And even if she feuds with Chelsea and like that's the next interaction, like I think that's something I'm interested in seeing.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's absolutely got some legs, and shout out to Julia. Hopefully this is the beginning of a long and prosperous WWE run, and can't wait to see what she's going to do with it. So there's that. I agree, Tom, but for me, my match of the week was none other than Asuka versus Jade Cargill for for the Queen of the Ring, just simply because of the things that we stated. It's got major title implications. There seems to be a lot of muddy water around the title right now with Naomi and Jade and, Tiffy. So it's going to be interesting to see how all that plays out. Like I said, it was the best wrestling match that Jade Cargill has had in her entire career, both AEW and WWE combined. And I hope that she's able to keep that momentum going forward, but that has yet to be seen, because she did share the ring with one of the best women to ever step foot inside of those ropes with Asuka. So I don't know. We'll just see how that all plays out. So that was my match of the week.
Asuka's real fucking good, though.
Asuka is real fucking
good. And it's so good to have her back. Like, does her coming back, like when KO leaves and it sucks because he's hurt and he's going to be gone for a while, like that sucks. But it's like, does having Asuka back not feel like, well, at least we got Asuka back, like in sort of that like sort of cushion to the blow, right?
Yeah,
it's like she's so good all the time in every aspect, even though English isn't even her first language. Like, I love when she comes out and is like just cutting, like somebody shared on Instagram today the promo that she and Io Sky cut against each other, and it was, Asuka with baka, and then Io Sky being like, bitch. Just like, man, I forgot how good that was. And like 95% of it's in Japanese, and it's great.
Yeah. So good to have Oscar back for sure. So, hey, if y'all are still hanging out with us, man, we appreciate you. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Maybe even consider subscribing. We would greatly appreciate it. You can check us out both on YouTube and Spotify, or wherever you enjoy your podcast listening experience. You can check us out over on Twitter and Instagram at @1_FallWC. That's ONE. And as always, thanks for hanging out. It's all love. We'll catch you next week. One Fall WrestleCast.